Hi there folks, welcome back to the IBN Andy Fishing channel. I hope you're doing really well. Crikey, has it been a wee while since I've said that. What a bloody winter this has been. If you've been in the UK this winter, if you're based in the UK, particularly in our area around Derbyshire, you'll know that this has just been an absolutely catastrophic winter in terms of the amount of rain we've had. And basically that's the reason why you haven't been seeing IBNI much. We just haven't been able to get out onto the water. Some people know, some people don't. I'm actually a full-time fly fishing guide. This is sort of my job. And I've stopped counting how many winter sessions I've lost at 50. And that was a wee while ago. It has just been horrific. And obviously if I can't get out to guide because the water's no good, it also usually means that I can't get out to film either for the same reason. So it's been a wee while since you've seen us, but we had a really great time at the BFFI last weekend. It was great to see people, great to catch up with people. And there were so many people who said kind words that we both came away from it like really energized. Like as soon as I can get a chance to film a video, I really want to go out and film something. So many people came up to us and said hello. So thank you very much for that. You cheered us up in what has been a pretty dodgy winter so far. In truth, it's not got that much better at the moment. The big rivers around here, the Dove and the Derwent, are still completely knackered. They're still too high to fish. So I've actually come down to do some of my favourite stuff, the small stream stuff. We've got loads of little tributaries around here that flow into the Dove and the Derwent, and I've come down to one of those today to see if we can find a few grayling. I've not come with a mountain of kit. All I've come down with is one rod, a 10-foot 2-weight, nice soft rod, French leader kit. I've got a little patch here with some flies on, and everything else is in the pocket of my waders there. Nice low maintenance days these are. Cut down on the kit, maximise on the time you get in the water. Even this little stream's not in perfect condition. It's still a wee bit high, it's still a wee bit coloured. And the bad news is there is more rain forecast for later on today, so I reckon I've got no more than about 2 hours here before that rain starts, and it looks like we're going to get another week of it. It's just never ending. It's been so frustrating, but fingers crossed, while we've got the weather like this, while it's still a little bit bright, I hope I can find a few grayling out of here. Let's jump straight in this river and see if we can find them before it starts bloody raining again. Okie doke, so just dropping into the first pool of the day, and as ever with these little streams, half the battle is just getting into the river. But actually with this pool, once I'm in, should have a fairly comfortable amount of space. There's a little bit of a wind got up just while I've been sort of getting myself sorted out, but hoping now I'm down here I should be out of that. As I said, you're an infinite rig with the French leader bicolour indicator on there. Sorry, I'm on a 2-fly rig at the moment. The point fly is a contrast red tag, top dropper is the flash hare's ear, so a real sort of mix of looks on the fly there. Not particularly heavy on either one. It's not that deep in front of me, I don't think, although it has been a while since I fished this, so I could be wrong. That's ticking the bottom there. I did see that just make contact, so that's nice. That stopped. Okay, don't know, could have been a take. Seems to be all fishing pretty nicely. I've got about 2 feet in between the bottom of the indicator and the top dropper. Obviously that indicator's 2 feet long itself, so it gives me the ability to fish down comfortably to about 4 foot. But because I've got the high vis French leader on here as well, if I really wanted to, using the waxes, I could drop down even further. As ever with the small streams, trying to keep the rod as low as possible during casting. Anytime you put that rod up in the air on these rivers, you're just asking for trouble, so everything nice and low. It's just a question of taking your time, being careful, being measured with it. You have to accept when you're fishing these places that you'll make fewer drifts. Just take your time, make sure everything's out the way of the trees. There's no space for me to throw a back cast here, that's for sure. If I try and cast this, it's just not going to work. Okay, continuing to work up here. It gets a little bit tight at this point, also I think gets a bit deeper. Righty, so because this gets a little bit deeper in front of me, I've just put a slightly heavier point fly on. It's the contrast pink tag this time. It's not mega heavy, you know, it's not going to gouge the riverbed, it's just going to get me down a touch faster. Still a fish catcher, just I could feel straight away there, it just got me down a bit quicker. Not sure what my casting angle is from here. Not straightforward, that's for sure. And if I can shoot a bow and arrow up there, yes, that works nicely. So trapping the leader underneath the rod hand, just underneath one finger. Compress the rod as a normal bow and arrow cast, but this leader's thin enough that when you let go, you can shoot a bit of line. It's a really valuable cast to have as a small stream angler, particularly if you're using Euro techniques, your mono rigs or French leaders like this. Let's try that one again. Fully compressed, it's trapped underneath the rod hand, let go of both at about the same time. Out we go. so I've just had to get the flies out of a snag, which has brought me a bit further upstream than I wanted to be really, but it also puts me right in this sort of feed line as well, so it gives me a chance to go through this pool a little bit faster. Still having to use that bow and arrow with a little bit of shoot. Big tree just on my right hand side there that I can't get around, but that's getting me far enough upstream anyway that I think we're doing okay. Very windy. Is that a fish? There it is, right at the bottom of the drift. Just a little tweak at the end. I'll be honest, I thought that was the bottom. It is a little grayling. We're off the mark, hopefully, so we can get it in the net. Yeah, okay. Little tweak. I really thought that was just the bottom. I say it over and over again during guided days, and I'm sure every other YouTube channel that does any Euro nymphing says the same thing. Just find excuses to strike. I mean, there was so little there for me to actually strike at. It just twitched slightly, but it was a fish. It just shows you. That was on that flash hare's ear from a piece of water that I have effectively walked past. It was behind me. On a river this small, hello ducks, on a river this small you sort of assume that as you've gone past fish you've probably upset them, but again it just shows you maybe not quite as cranky as we think. I'm kicking up loads of silt here. I was worried about how much silt I'm kicking up, but he was there anyway. Is that another one? It is another one. It is another one, a little bit bigger than the last one as well. Again, from that same spot, just where this pool drops out. Just seems to be a couple of fish there. A little bit bigger. Come on, bud. Same fly as well. That's on that top dropper, on that flash hare's here. Don't get me wrong, we're not breaking any records with these fish, but it's nice to find a few. Tough first 15 minutes, but all of a sudden, two in a couple of minutes. So the question I'm asking myself here now is, why didn't I catch these fish on the walk up? Why am I only now catching them downstream of me? Very, very strange. No complaints. Oh, that might have been a take. No complaints, but I thought we'd have picked these fish up earlier. Buttocks. That's about the spot. Let's see if we get any taps down here. Ooh, that might have been a little tap there. Right, keep working up here. Don't get me wrong, I think there probably are more fish to be caught in that little hole downstream of me, but I'd rather cover some more water, to be honest, try and keep moving. Plus I still think there are fish above me to catch. Oh, not easy wading, that's for sure. Very silty. Huge silt deposits this year because of all the floods. Makes working up the river a little bit harder. We'll get there in the end. Still not much space to play with, so I'm going to stick with the bow and arrow. I've got a tree above me I've got to avoid, but that is absolutely spot on, right in the feed line. That's a fish, there we go. Could be the wrong species though, I reckon this one. That feels more like a trout than a grayling. Yeah, little brunski. Come on bud, come here. Get you unhooked in the water and get you on your way. I'll see you in another month or so, that's for sure. Off you come. Away he goes. Right, okay. It's only one. It's the only one I've hooked, so I don't feel too concerned about the fact that this could be full of brownies just yet. We'll keep an eye on that though. Oh, are you kidding me? So, been a bit unlucky there. Some grass hanging into the water. Obviously it goes underwater and I can't see it. I've just clipped the very end of it. Now it'd be easier just to stand and wrench on this and eventually it might come out, but if I'm wrenching downstream it comes out and hits that tree there. So you just have to accept fishing the small streams that when this happens, just go and get it. It's not worth the risk. You end up losing and wasting more time by pulling flies out and hitting them into other trees than you do just by going and getting them. I think it's time for a little move on. I've been here for 15-20 minutes or so. 2 trout and a grayling in the first 20 minutes, that'll do me. Okie doke, so I have had a bit of a move. It's a bit of a gamble this one, because I've actually moved to a spot that I know has already been fished once today. There was a chap here fishing earlier. Not often you see people actually on these small streams, but the last few times I've been a walk along this one, I've seen at least one person fishing. It's nice to see people on these places. Sort of felt like these were being neglected over the years, but actually I see more and more people now getting involved in fishing small rivers. It's cool. Just coming back to the last pool very quickly, so I could well go back and fish that at some point later on today. I walked down the middle of it just to get a feel for how deep it was these days, because I haven't fished here in ages, and it was so much deeper than I remember it. There was no way I was getting down with this rig. So there's a possibility actually that I could go back and fish that and fish it really effectively. So that might be an option later in the day. How much day we're going to get is dependent on this weather. As I said at the start, there is rain forecast for today, and it feels like it's just on the turn at the moment. What's that? A little bit of stick. As you can see, I have got space here to be able to lay up a cast behind me, so I'm doing that. It's always easier to shoot a bit of line if you can lay it up behind you. I don't think I could confidently backcast here. I don't think I could throw a backcast. But just laying it up in the river gives me a bit of tension to work with, and I'm actually managing to fish at a reasonable distance. Got him, there's a fish. What's that? What are you? Is that a grayling or a trout? It's on the point fly again. Let's get him on the reel. It's a decent fish compared to the others, whatever it is. Really hopeful this is a nice grayling. Yeah. That's nice. I was hoping for a better grayling. Don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting to catch 2-3 pounders out of this place. Anything kind of half a pound plus out of here is actually a really good fish. And that is probably in that sort of range. Nice. Yeah, it's difficult to not be happy with these out the small streams. Come on, buddy. Stop you flapping. There we go. Nice grayling. Hopefully he's got some buddies in this pool. Let's have a look, see if there's anyone else up here. That was the first cast I'd made. Oh, first cast I made down the inside. I'd sort of concentrated on that mulchy water on the far side, but actually he was in the feed line proper. Oh, I might have just missed a couple of takes there. Let's try that again. Yeah, this is more like the kind of area a feeding fish should sit in. Okay, just wondering if I'm getting down in the deeper part of this pool. Obviously, I know even this little stream is higher than normal. It's been a long time since I've fished it. And all these pools just a bit deeper than I remember. Possibly not getting down far enough. I feel like there should be fish in front of me. So it's difficult on these places because little streams like this are an absolute fly graveyard. You know, there's all sorts of crap on the riverbed, sticks and bits of old branch and rocks and stuff. So you don't want to fish too heavy on these places because you know what the outcome's going to be. But by the same token, if these grayling want this presentation low, if they don't want to move too far, you've sort of got to take it to them. So it's always a bit of a trade-off with these. There's another fish. There we go. That was a nice take. Real sort of jag on the indicator. No doubt about that one. Oh, strong fish as well. Jumping grayling. Jumping grayling. That's a little treat. Not great angles to play this fish from, but to be honest, I'm pretty stuck in every direction here. It's a case of just getting him in the net however you feel you can. If they come off, particularly when they head downstream of you like this. But I think as long as I can keep him moving, I might have to come towards him slightly. I think I should be okay with this one. Yeah, there we go. This is going all right. That hook just fell out on the net, but I know it was on the top dropper. Another nice grayling. A little bit of damage to him there. You'd expect that. These guys have had to deal with so many floods. Okay then, this is going okay so far. Fished for maybe half an hour in total. 4 grayling and a trout out of a little stream. There's nowhere else that's fishable around here, but it was basically this or nothing today, so I will most definitely take this. Just feel like maybe in the middle of this pool. Oh no, it's in the tree. Concentrating too much on yakking. Okay, I've got away with it. So what I did there was, rather than pulling it too hard, I've just sort of gently figure of eighted that back out the tree branches. I do find that's the best way of getting out a tree, particularly with nymphs, rather than wrenching on it. Instinctively people wrench on it when they hit a tree, but I find that just gets the flies more stuck. If you just sort of gently tease them through the branches with a figure of 8, you often get them back. Got lucky there, but definitely don't wrench on them the second they hit the tree. That's what you want to do, but it's not the right thing. Righty, double fly change, gone for a deep purple on the point. It's one of my absolute favourite fish catching point flies, that deep purple. And on top dropper, it's actually the caddis grub from our trout nymph pack. It's been absolutely brilliant this winter as a grayling catcher, that fly has. Must admit, it's not a fly that I'd spent lots of time on with grayling previously, but Jesus, it's been pulling some fish for me this winter. I'd say it's been one of the most effective flies all grayling season. Let's just see if the fish like it as much as I do. Righty, so a bit of a walk upstream, just stopped and had a natter actually with the other chap who was fishing. He's fishing an indicator rig and is catching about as many fish as I am, but he's catching mostly trout, so just sort of suggests that maybe I've got the correct presentation here for the day. Just come up to a nice little spot that leads up to a pool that I've fished in the past and I've caught fish from, so working towards this pool a bit faster than I wanted to, but it's not the end of the world. Just snap a couple of these little branches off on my side just to create some space here. I can't quite get these flies where I want them. That's pretty good. Let's try a bit further up this run. Just plucked a couple of branches away just so I can access this water ahead of me. And someone's dog has just gone straight in the river, straight in the pool and trying to fish. All right, we'll move on like that. Well, given that at some point I'm almost certain that our dog is going to ruin someone else's favourite pool, I'm not going to say too much there. She did apologise. It's about as much as she can do there, really. So I've just moved on. This nice flat here, a fair way down from a big pool that we're sort of working up towards. Get above these trees slightly, make myself an angle. Yeah, there's a big pool at the top here that, from memory, has usually got a few in, so we'll fish way up towards it with the rig we've got on at the moment, which is a contrast pink tag on the point, and then I've put a baby pink on the top dropper. Is that a fish? It is. It's had a little rattle just before that I didn't strike at, and I really regretted it. And then it rattled again. I wonder if that's just the same fish gone after the fly again. Little grayling on the top dropper on that baby pink, of course. Little guy, only a small one. Happy with those though. Right, he just used that fish as an excuse to move the cameras around a bit. It looks like I was right about the fish being a bit further up, so we'll stay up here. That wind is ugly at the moment, really ugly. Not a lot of space to play with on this one. To get those flies back to me, I have to bring the rod right around behind, and then we can go from here. Let's try that one down the inside a bit. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go. That's a fish right at the top. Peas in a pod, these grayling at the moment. They're all a similar sort of size. Right at the top of the pool. He's on the point fly this time as well. The rod tip's in the tree so I can't move. Typical small water problems. Get that contrast pink tag out. little sprat, little flapper. Back he goes. Nice. Okie doke, we'll try that one again. Let's get this up to the top of the pool there. Ooh, get some contact. Something's wrapped around the guides. Squeeze up a little bit. So little room here. Really cramped pool, this one. Well, if this pool looks familiar, it's the first pool that I fished at the start of the session. I poked my head above the river channel in the previous pool, and I can see that rain is coming. It's gone a bit darker, the air temperature's dropped. It is gonna rain, and I just feel like, since this is on the walk back to the car, 15-20 minutes in here fishing it slightly deeper than I did before, just before that rain starts, might be worth it, because definitely having walked back through this earlier I could tell I was nowhere near the riverbed. So we'll try and fish this with these flies a little bit lower than they were previously and just see if it makes a difference. Still got the contrast pink tag on the point, still got the baby pink on the top dropper. Because it's slow here, I don't need loads of weight. What I do need to do is just control that indicator as such that I'm not pulling the flies up off the bottom too much. So fishing this with a lot more indicator in the water than I did last time I was here. Haven't put the squirmy on yet today. This might be the time. Let's see if we can catch them on something else first. Okie doke, squirmy on the top dropper. Let's see what happens here. Always amazes me how quickly weather changes, no matter how often I see it happen. This has gone from being a very, very pleasant afternoon to feeling really quite an ominous afternoon in 15 minutes here, watching this rain sort of drift over one edge of the valley towards me. It's definitely coming. Oh, that was a good take just at the end. Just at the end, and surprise, surprise, that's on the squirmy. Absolutely whacked it. Just on the swing there. Get you in, and I think that will be me done for the day, because in 5 minutes time it's going to be pouring it down here. Again, little sprat, not a big fish. He's taking that red worm. There we go. Right, I'm going to see if I can get out of here without drowning in silt, and I will meet you guys on the bank. Right guys, well that's going to do me. I'm looking past the camera here at the moment at a wall of thick black cloud coming over from the west, and that is the rain that was forecast. It is about half an hour later than was forecast. It's 3:30 now, so we've sort of got away with it here, I think. A steady session in between all the faffing about with cameras and stuff. I've only fished for about 90 minutes, but actually really nice to come back onto somewhere that I used to fish fairly regularly and hadn't seen for a wee while. In truth, today was never about coming down and shattering records or catching big fish or making a big vlog or anything like that. What I really wanted to do is just come and make a vlog to say thank you very much to everyone who has been in touch in the last few months. I know we've been very quiet. We've had some really nice messages off people asking when we're going to be back, asking if we're okay. Really appreciate that. And as I said earlier, the BFFI, the amount of people that said hi at the BFFI, asked about the vlogs, asked how we were. I just wanted to get out and film something as soon as I could after then, just to say thank you very much to everybody who watches the channel, who's subscribed to the channel, who's bought anything from the web shop over the winter and previously to that as well, because that really does help. All the support you guys give us with the channel really helps. So this one was for you guys. I'm going to make a run for it now because that rain is about to head in. Just a quick reminder, all of the bobble hats, all of the buffs, all of the flies that I have used in today's vlog are available on the web shop. I will put the web shop address just there. Keep an eye out on that one. I'm going to crack on, get back to the car because I'm about to get very wet. Thank you very much to all you good people for watching this vlog. Really appreciate it. IB and I are going to be back as soon as we possibly can, if the rain allows us, to do some more fishing, some more filming and some more stuff. Take care, folks. Bye bye.